Yay.
And we are live.
Hey,
Woohoo.
welcome back, everyone who's not in here yet.
Lisa,
Manny, do you have actually whiskey this week?
No.
What is your
Good
deal?
evening, Cameron. How are you doing?
Hi, Cameron. But Manny, seriously, you're forcing me to do this drinking game all on my own now. Now I just look like a lush.
Oh no.
Hi, Mike.
I think I got some ginger ale, so I could probably join in.
That totally was not my intention. Hello, Mike and Cricket.
Hi, Cricket.
Hello.
Glad you guys are here.
Well, at least Cameron will be joining me.
Well, again, ginger ale, so I can probably join too.
Well, I guess it has ale in the name.
Yeah,
Close enough.
I have water and ginger ales. I have alcohol, but I ain't gonna drink it.
That's probably a good thing, Cricket.
I'm drinking.
And of course, Mike's always joining me. As always.
We'll just wait a couple of minutes for people to. What's a lush? A lush is a drunk.
Yeah. It's just a slang for alcoholic.
Wait for people to make their way in. And for anyone who hasn't voted yet, in Strands, you can vote for what stories are going to be read on next week's dramatic reading.
Personally, I would vote for my dead friend keeps messaging me on Facebook.
Honestly, I looked through that one. It seems kind of.
It looks cool. Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not voting because that would mean I'd have to read them first, and I kind of don't want to do that. I like to
You don't have to
read while we're on stream.
I don't expect anyone to read them first. Just go with what they think sounds most interesting.
They know it.
Which is obviously the Facebook
Some of them
one.
might know what it is, have heard of these or have read them before.
And feel free also to request any stories you might want to read. And of course, if you request, then you get to be the guest reader with us. That Facebook one sounds extra strange. I voted just off the titles. Good man, good man. Yeah, I had a lot the day before, so I'm taking a little break, at least until next week, probably. So that's fine. Or interesting, like on Friend.
We were talking about that last night on Vince's stream.
I've never heard of any of them. Yeah, neither have I, but Gemma was like, here, possible contenders for next week. Ooh, excuse me. You do that sombrero dinosaur thing with raptors sometime. Oh, absolutely.
I think we're going to probably end up doing that on Vince's channel.
I hope so.
Willow dinosaur. Just from the name alone, that sounds like a classic for the ages.
Just imagine it's actually really brilliant, too. Like, it's somehow actually terrifying.
A subversive masterpiece that plays off of our own fears and insecurities through the lens of a superhero dinosaur.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Alright, so might as well get started. This is the big one.
Message Vince to get him in here. He owes us for last night.
You did, or are you telling me to?
Telling you too. He'll listen to you.
That's true.
The children's book that accidentally got uploaded on the wrong wiki. I don't think so, Mike. Because it ended up being Post of the Month. Then again, some of the denizens of the creepypasta wiki are that stupid. And are apparently frightened very easily.
Oh, there he is. He says I owe you nothing.
Any story.
Hey.
You owe
I
me
just sent
for
you
your
the link
dinophobia,
anyway.
Vince.
You'll be happy with all the nothing you get.
Pay me reparations in the form of a brontosaurus rib and with a side of iguanodon chops.
And Toby might stop by in between stream sessions.
I hope so. I want him to experience this firsthand because he said he read up on Empress Theresa, but
He
he
can.
hasn't experienced the full tumor-inducing stupidity.
If we manage to get him in here, Raptor, would you mind relinquishing your role as Prime Minister Blair?
That is some Steve.
Yeah, exactly.
I will always be Steve.
I'm not sure that's the legacy you want to have,
Steve is
Raptor.
us. Steve is you. Steve is me. It's better than nothing. Well, maybe nothing is better than Steve.
I like the concept of her name was Emma, but I already knew Amy69 was typing, so I voted for bedtime instead. Fair enough.
96.
69.
All right, should we begin?
Yes.
Funny.
All right, chapter 15. What
Vince,
happened?
I would grab a drink.
What happened to
Although,
President Martin? After I brought rain and eliminated winter to allow a 12-month a year farming season all over the world, people were saying the world was much better off than before Martin tried to get rid of me and Hal.
Martin's
I know
Trump.
that wasn't another
Lol.
character praising her, but
Lol.
she's praising
Sophie.
herself, so I'm gonna take a drink.
What Martin did was wrong. No, in fact, getting rid of you would have been a great thing. But things turned out all right after all. No, they didn't.
You got rid of an
Polar bears are
entire
dead.
season!
The polar bears are dead. The penguins are dying. Well, maybe not the penguins, since they can live anywhere. But polar bears are dead. And polar bears are the best bear, along with grizzly bears.
Yes,
So, you fucked
grizzlies are
Lisa.
fucking majestic. President Martin was seen appearing in public to go to a restaurant or theater. He didn't answer reporters' questions shouted at him on the street. Well, good on him. But he did smile and wave. It looked like he was doing okay.
Why is he still being called President Martin when he's not president anymore?
That's a very good
Maybe
question.
President is actually his first name.
Yeah.
As in, his name is actually President John Martin.
Steve came down to breakfast. Okay, just complete scene skip there. Thank you for that pointless bit with the president. Well, former president. Steve came down to breakfast. Well, I caught a few extra minutes of sleep upstairs. God, he hardly reached the foyer before Arthur intercepted him. Excuse me, sir. The Prime Minister wishes to visit Mrs. Hartley this morning. He says it's urgent.
Okay, Durham will be here.
Now
Again,
what?
remember when she was like, "Oh, I can't tell you how conversations went down that I wasn't present for."
Yeah.
Just like to remind you.
To speak clear, I'm not doing the drinking game. I'm having a drink along with the stream. I downed my drink way too fast if I was doing the game, and I only have one. There.
Here, Cameron. I'll cut you a deal. Only drink during the really egregious scenes, okay? I know that's still a lot, but I believe in you.
Polar bears are the best bears. This is Red Panda erasure.
Red pandas aren't bears.
Uh,
Panda, there's a difference between a panda bear and a red panda. Panda means the animal eats bamboo.
and that makes me very
So if
stinky.
I ate bamboo, I'll be a dino bamboo. I mean, dino panda.
Yes.
Pandasaur.
You'd be a velocipanda.
Haha, I get it.
Now what? We thought everything was going fine. The Prime Minister
You thought everything
arrived.
was going fine. You got rid of an entire season.
You thought everything was going fine, but it was I, Dio. Kenzie,
Get
that's
your
just the whole
weeb
book.
ass out of here.
Dio.
They're bears in my heart.
Dio.
Fair enough, Cameron. Fair enough. Prime Minister arrived at 9:45. Arthur led him into the living room where we waited. Blair sat down and got straight to the business at hand.
A group of oceanographers have informed me that the oceans will rise due to thermal expansion. They believe it is already up a 16th of an inch. They say it will rise 2 or 3 inches in a year. Pete, you know what I mean? What is causing it?
Asked Steve.
Gee, could it be the fact that you eliminated an entire season?
It is the reduction in Earth's declination. Normally, water is heated in the summer months and cooled in the winter months to maintain a constant average temperature. With the reduction in declination, this process is frustrated. The oceans are not losing their heat normally. The sunlight is coming into the northern hemisphere at a more vertical angle than normal for this time of the year. The northern oceans will not lose their heat even as the southern oceans are gaining it. This will cause water to expand above normal volume.
Why did it take a prime minister
but up
to
3
inform
feet
her
in a
about
year
this?
is like a lot.
Sorry, Raptor, I didn't mean to talk over you, but think about it. Shit that you would learn in fucking middle school science classes is being relayed to her now after she decided that winter was an unnecessary season.
Wait, so does that mean like this all part is like from Teresa's point of view, or is it's Steve saying it? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's Steve's, since he's the one who talked last, or before player.
Yeah. What?
Oh, that's the guy who was talking for the all white pod? Was it Steve or Teresa?
I think it's Steve.
Okay. Okay, good. Alright. But the 3 feet in a year sounds a lot. Part of the ocean are 3 miles deep. 3 feet is only 0.02%. Recall that the water on the ocean floor has been around 0 degrees Fahrenheit because of winter colder. Now it will climb up to 10 or 15 degrees. That is a huge difference.
Yeah, that's
Congratulations,
not a good thing.
Bhutan. We get it. You took science classes and math in high school.
And oceanography.
Let's be real. He doesn't know how to pronounce that.
Mike says, did Bhutan just say the top of the Earth gets heated by the sun, or did I totally misunderstand that? Yes,
I don't know.
the top of the Earth.
Oh, my. So we are doing science with Kenzie again, learning about bears and pandas. So where do water bears fit in? First of all, they're called sea bears. Second of all, please consult SpongeBob for more information.
Bung.
So,
Class dismissed.
The exact opposite of how he works. Yes.
It will cause. Oh, hang on. What will this expansion do? It will cause horrible damage to our coastlines. Beach levels are being maintained by a delicate balance. A 3-foot rise in water will erode many beaches to the point of endangering valuable real estate. You are aware of the problems in London. Yes. You have these giant gates to block off the Thames River. Your Miami Beach is also precariously close to the water. There are many cities. Potential losses over the world amount to catastrophic amounts.
Okay, I just have to cut in and say, Raptor, those last two paragraphs before your Miami Beach do not exist in the version that I have.
You don't? Hang on. Wait, yes. Wait, hang on. Is it? Yes, you have those giant gates to block off the Thames River.
Yeah,
So-
I have nothing about the Thames.
Like,
And nothing about Miami Beach.
No,
no, wait. Oh, I forgot it was pronounced as
no,
Thames.
it goes from
Why is it again?
it goes from the Prime Minister saying that's a huge difference straight to your Miami Beach.
Also, why is it pronounced Thames if it's spelled Thames? There shouldn't be an H.
I don't know, why is it pronounced Edinburgh when it's clearly Edinburgh?
Yes, that, but unironically.
Yes. Anyway, I had been listening patiently to all this. Wait, I thought Theresa was asleep.
No, this is when he showed up. Context clues, Manny.
Yeah.
I don't think they're there.
Wait.
So wait, where are we?
I thought I could retire from all these problems.
I thought I could retire from all these problems. Why can't you guys handle the problems I just made?
The world is a very complicated mechanism.
Go figure.
You can't change one thing without affecting others.
Wow, again, it really took her listening to the Prime Minister of Great Britain to learn about cause and effect. I was a whiz at school, remember, guys? I'm drinking.
I was a whiz at school. Destroys the ecosystem.
And you know what? That's a contradiction. So you know what? I'm taking a drink. What happens after a year?
The rise will continue more slowly. Eventually, we'll see a rise of about 6 feet.
I think this is supposed to mean aha, but it's spelled unhun.
Unhun. He's just an ape now.
How much water is that?
They put it in interesting terms. It's enough water to cover the United States to a depth of 221 feet.
What do you mean interesting terms? That's just the example they're using.
Yeah, that was a straightforward answer. I slapped my forehead in astonishment. Has anyone
A talking
ever
cat?
done that?
Sorry, what?
Talking cat? She is punished? Because she saw a talking cat.
You want
As in the film.
You want me to get rid of all of that in 1 year?
It would be appreciated.
He said with a touch of embarrassment. I looked at Steve.
I should have never put my trust in you.
Did you read I looked at Steve? Well. Do you believe this? Can you believe they're actually telling me to clean up the mess I caused?
No, but it'll have to be done.
Steve rose and the pim automatically rose too.
Thank you for your help and human us all. I know this is most annoying.
Shut the fuck up and actually hold her accountable. She caused
you,
this
Theresa.
mess.
You doomed us all. My family just died in the flood, Theresa. You did this to me.
A YouTuber?
Who?
Here's Kawaii Princess and Kitty.
Your weave references mean nothing to me. I also know nothing about this episode.
That was distracted.
Who always dies trying to help people is immediately resurrected.
There's a reason I probably avoided that then.
The cart was like, so what? What does he do? He's just really cute, that's it? Yeah, it was,
have you seen... We can't even apply that line to this. Have you seen the cover?
They are down bad.
No. Aside from Bhutan.
Bottom.
And that does
Bhutan
not
is
count.
down bad.
This is his baby. And...
Down bad.
Yeah, baby... When you're through the eyes of a loving mother or parent, babies will always look cute. Even if they're butt ugly. What are you doing? What you making? Wop spaghetti?
Spaghetti.
Wop spaghetti. Wop spaghetti.
Does someone touch your spaghetti? That meme will never get. Somebody touch my spaghetti.
Oh, I'm reading comments. Cameron, I'm drinking lemon lime hard seltzer. It tastes like fizzy water where someone had a lemon in the room when it was made. Yeah. That's basically what hard seltzer is in a nutshell, but it's low calorie, so we drink it anyway.
You're having lemon and baby lemon hard seltzer water.
He's also... People are saying that you're kind of quiet, and
Nothing
I think that's because you were away from the mic to heat up dinner. Is he better, guys? You don't know what to do. Here, where'd we leave off? Raptor, should we take over for a little bit?
I guess. We left off at Steve smiled.
Yeah. The PM was close to using an expression he used himself when something went wrong. Arthur escorted Blair back to his limo. Steve said,
I'll go make some calculations.
He went upstairs to hit the computer. He just beats it with a bat.
I use Windows ME, the best computer on the market.
He returned 20 minutes later.
You see, you need to get rid of 1 cubic mile of water every few 3 minutes for a year.
Is that all?
That is all.
Will they ever leave us alone? I don't know, Theresa. Will you ever stop creating messes for the world that you're inevitably going to have to clean up because it's your fault?
No, face it, my dear. We're stuck with Hal, and there'll be one problem after another. I know it's not fair.
You're breaking in and out a little, Raptor.
I know it's not fair, but who said life was fair? We struggle, and then we die.
After this, we take a real vacation before we croak. Anywhere but France.
A long time ago. I'm a ghost, Theresa.
I got to work on a new HAL program. It was, oh boy, won't this be fun? It was a complicated one and I needed 8 days to finish it. Then I moved my fingers along a plywood sheet to get HAL started. HAL lifted a cubic mile of water out of the South Pacific a few hundred miles from Antarctica on the Pacific side. It rose at 40 miles an hour, bringing it completely out of the ocean surface in 1.5 minutes. After 3 minutes, another cubic mile of water started rising. So what are you doing with it? These 1 mile to the edge cubes rose slowly up to a height of 10 miles where the air was very thin. At that point, the complicated HAL program increased their speed to 100 miles per hour, but in a direction ahead of the Earth's orbital motion. In a short time, they reached the threshold of outer space and kept going. I increased their speed to 1,000 miles an hour and then 2,000 and finally 3,000. Of course. Powerful radar systems monitored their rise. In one day, they were all well above the Earth's orbit. They would never return. Where will they go? A science consultant was asked on television. Raptor, do you want me to read it?
Who's saying this line?
Hmm?
Who's saying this line, though?
They will go into orbit around the sun well outside the Earth's orbit. They can never get back down low enough to collide with us. How do you know? To add to the effect, the solar wind will give them comet tails all over the sky. They should put on a spectacular show. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see how this fucks with something.
It wipes out the orcas.
We set out on a leisurely tour of the British Isles. So we just glance over that part. So if that was as pointless as it sounded, I'm taking a drink.
I mean, look at the bright side, Kenzie. At least it's not the cringe French. Oh, French. Cringe.
I don't want any area of the world dealing with these two. Do you? I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Oh, looks like French has gotten off scot-free today.
We set out on a leisurely tour of the British Isles. Certain famous places were obligatory destinations. Stratford-upon-Avon, Shakespeare's hometown, the Blarney Stone in Ireland, the castles where kings and queens had lived were all quick visits. But most of the time we drifted from one unknown town to another, not to see famous sights, which were few, but simply to check into a small hotel or inn, eat and drink at the local pubs, and see whatever it was the local people were doing. Oh yeah, I forgot. They like to go to places to watch people as if they're in a zoo. We were never crowded. Everybody wanted the Hartleys to visit their little town and put it on the map. To get this exciting experience, they understood that they had to give us some space. I'm going to take a drink for that. It's not exactly praise, but you know what? Close enough. We had a little fun on this trip.
Same thing is the fact that the person who eliminated Winter.
You know, when I think about it, there's another contradiction. Like, Bhutan always seems to has this really weird view of what being a celebrity is. So he keeps flip-flopping between how everyone is dying to get close to her and just dying to interact with her. But then they respect their distances. Like, is it one or the other?
Okay, my God.
Like, is there never really like that one person?
One thing is the fact that the person who destroyed Winter and caused a mass extinction visited it once.
But like how there's
That's
never
the question.
Ever like she says something and everyone abides by it. There's never like that one idiot who doesn't get the memo and is like, you know, the idiot who takes a picture of a celebrity while they're just eating dinner with their family, not realizing, hey, we should respect their privacy. It's Theresa said she wanted to be left alone, so the world abides. I don't know, it's annoying.
It's almost as if Norman does not know how normal people work. Because he's not a normal person.
Is he a person at all?
Okay, new game theory. Norman is an alien. He's a reptilian who came from some unknown planet trying to make him enough money to go back to his home planet, but his spaceship but he's a bad writer because he doesn't know how humans work, and that's why this book is bad. Hastily put together game theory complete. It all makes sense. Okay, so where were we?
Oh, hang on, I'm just reading comments. Hi, Larasco.
Hey.
It's whatever Bhutan needs at the time to make the plot happen. Well, I know. It's just, you know me. Writer by profession, I like to point out every single discrepancy I find. When Steve came up with the North Pole water column idea, we realized there would be a light rain all day. The head and neck could get drenched if you spent a lot of time outdoors as we intended. We foresaw that millions of people would be walking the streets with umbrellas all the time. This would not do. What? Steve found an American fireman's apparel website. They sold authentic American firemen's helmets. These helmets had brims all around that caught water and guided it back in the back of your head to fault on the ground. No more perfect headgear had ever been designed to keep your head dry. Okay, I don't think that you can just buy those. Or I was about to just say they were probably really expensive if they were, but then again, these people are just handed millions of dollars. Steve ordered 3 helmets, 1 white one for me, and 2 black ones for himself and Mr. Blair. There were optional shields with the names of major American cities. I had chosen New York shield for my helmet in honor of the 220 firefighters who died in the 9/11 disaster. Oh, how thoughtful of you.
Trying to get off
the power of that fucking story. Here. Just Norman here. Giving out a big ode to the troops gave them lives over 9/11. Please laugh at this funny, offensive joke.
Look, nice thought, but it's completely pointless and irrelevant to the story, so I'm taking a drink.
Does Bhutan have a problem with umbrellas or something? Apparently.
The great Theresa holding up an umbrella on day? Unthinkable.
Inconceivable.
Steve, do you want to go back to reading?
I guess I have spaghetti in my belly now.
Do you want me to read for a little longer?
Nah. Steve ordered my white helmets. Okay. Have to call out the race of the helmets now. New York shield with the word chief on it. His and Blair's helmets would not have the shields. Of course they won't. There was also...
See, this is a very important symbolic scene. The white helmet represents the fact that Theresa is a white girl. In fact, she ruins everything like a normal white girl would. The chief
You're
sign
breaking up a little again, Raptor.
She
is
wearing...
represented with the fact. Okay.
She wearing
Anyway,
and drinking a pumpkin spice latte.
Yes.
There was.
There was also an optional and very ugly leather neck cover, which I guess was supposed to protect you from a fire's heat. We didn't order those.
I don't think they care about how it looks, Theresa.
There's plastic face protectors, blah, 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 blah. Fuck you, we don't care about the helmets. First day of our England tour, we wore the helmets. They were a smash hit. No, they weren't. The English people had never seen them in real life and oohed and awed. Guys, you hear that, all you folks from the UK? Like, you're just ooh and on over seeing fucking American fire brigade helmets in person.
Hang on, I'm doing a little bit of Googling. British firemen.
Doing a bit of Googling. Kenzie, please do that in your personal time.
Yeah, they pretty much look very similar.
Again,
he's an alien. That's why he doesn't know these things. Because aliens do not know these things. It is a very intelligent theory.
Prime Minister Blair was soon seen wearing his helmet too. Many companies had already been making cheap, light knockoffs of American firemen's helmets, and now they all went into frantic production. Why?
Drinking again to this, because what's the point?
It looked like every young person in the world was wearing a $10 plastic knockoff. Our genuine helmets each cost over $500.
Which you could afford, because remember, people just kept handing her millions of dollars.
Oh yeah. What was it like? In an hour, they already had over $1 million just from cards that they opened.
Yep.
After 2 weeks, we'd seen about as much English culture as we could absorb. We went to Italy. No, don't you dare!
Italy.
If they set foot in Sicily, I'm done. I'm done.
Forget.
The Italians like the English.
Except forget the
Italians, like the English, knew they were not to crowd the Hartleys, or a couple would leave. Commas, jackass. Occasionally, somebody tried to get himself on television by approaching us. Security quickly blockaded these characters. These characters! Or wrestled them to the ground. This had been expected. The media had fun showing these
Mario, I'm trying to upstage the world Empress. Yahoo! Guys, am I funny yet?
Yes.
Is this funny yet?
Has it ever been funny, Raptor? Has anything we've actually said have been funny?
I mean, Raptor and
we're just suffering. We're just suffering, guys. Is that amusing to you all?
Also, umbrellas keep your clothes dry too. The neck gaiter and stuff.
PewDiePie is popular. Internet reviews are funny, so
We visited the immense St. Peter's Basilica, the Sistine Chapel, the Colosseum, Pompeii, and Venice, which had the world's best pizza. We did not visit museums, because we're uncultured swine. Those too tourist insecurity in these crowded places would be a nightmare. Too tourist? Go fuck yourself.
God forbid you learn about the culture and history.
We spent time in night spots with people in many small forgotten towns. Sometimes we stayed in people's homes, making them the families they're in nationally favored. Fuck off.
Wait.
Fuck off.
Which amendment is that? It's the same principle. Like when you have a soldier just come into their home. Yeah, we live here for a little bit now. Hope that's okay.
The Italians were a very friendly people. We never got tired of them. Well, we got tired of you. Why do we exist? Just to suffer? Kenzie having a mental breakdown over Empress Theresa. Kenzie, has anything we've said been funny? Also, Kenzie, whap spaghetti. I think Theresa and I have different priorities.
I can't tell like if he's saying I'm a hypocrite or if he's saying that he actually finds WAP spaghetti really funny.
WAP spaghetti be funny.
Wouldn't constant rain be a hell of a breeding ground for mosquitoes and other disease-carrying insects? Yes, it would.
Another reason why
not
Theresa
something
doomed the
taken
whole
into
world.
account.
Still laugh about WAP spaghetti. I found autofill spaghetti after WAP. Best joke. Cameron, best joke. Did you just compliment that female?
Yeah, you know why?
Is he a simp?
Because one, they're all my simps, and two, I am just hilarious.
Well, the former might be true. Oh!
That was meant to mean you said something funny. Thank you, Mike. Hang on. Eli's scratching at my door.
Scratch. I don't hear Eli yet. I'm displeased.
Orc.
That was brilliant, Raptor.
Okay, sorry. You okay there?
While you were gone, I said, I did not hear Eli barking yet. I am displeased. After like 3 seconds of silence, Raptor just softly went, "Orc."
Yeah, no. When he's upset, he doesn't usually bark. He'll just scratch until someone gives him attention.
Aw.
He's just gonna stay in the corner of the bed.
I'm just picturing Raptor like has broken into someone's house and they've caught him, so he just like gets down on all fours, is like, "Orc."
Why is that your go-to thought?
I'm trying to steer their games.
Where do we leave off?
Traveling can be exhausted, I think.
Traveling can be exhausting. After a week of traveling around Italy, we returned to Edmund Parker's place to rest up. Yeah, this is our home now. There was a little bit of business to take care of.
I'm probably cleaning up the next mess your latest little trick made.
Steve brought Arthur over to the chessboard with the 56 pieces that control North Pole water columns.
This again?
It had been raining lightly all over the world for 3 weeks. Not a steady rainfall, but an occasional drop that added up to a quarter inch every 24 hours. It would have to be constant. Not all this water was from my columns. Some was normal ocean evaporate, encouraged to fall by my water. Steve explained that he what he wanted Arthur to do. Okay, you see, for that water to fall, though, there needs to be
Wind. Really?
What I'm hearing is that Raptor is Sonic the Hedgehog from the live action movie. Meow?
Book.
I sure hope someone's bothering to clean and maintain their old house back in Massachusetts. I don't. I hope it's a ramshackle hut by the time they get back.
They didn't even have a house, it was just an apartment or some shit.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the landlord has officially evicted them.
Yes. And then he or she will be blasted on the news for daring to evict the great Theresa.
This mansion's not my permanent residence. I totally wanted to go back to my normal life.
Okay, who the hell is saying this?
Steve.
Yes, Steve.
Okay.
It is not good having it rain all the time. The world will turn into a fungus garden.
Again, something they completely overlooked until just now. Manny, you're Arthur.
Oh, Arthur actually gets to speak. How kind of them. It will, sir. Many have discussed it. Many, and now we're just hearing about it. I mean, us being people with fully functioning brains, we realized it, but
Take this chessboard to the Prime Minister and tell him that he can control the number of columns by removing chess pieces. It should. We have to make sure before Teresa and I hit the road again.
Okay. Normally I would be like, yeah, okay, if they find a way for shit to go right without her having to constantly be there, fine, then take it. But you know what? No, because it's this book. So again, she made this mess. She has to clean it up.
yeah. I'm going to try and channel some Niles again. Oh, yes, of course, immediately, sir. It's not like I have a whole house to maintain. Further happily went to number 10 to give him the chessboard. Blair alerted a military plane keeping an eye on the North Pole columns and took off 5 chess pieces. The plane soon reported. I think you mean the pilot.
Oh, it's a
What?
sentient plane.
It's
from the Cars universe.
Oh, God, no.
Remember planes?
I wish I didn't.
The
I never actually saw it, but the plane soon reported that it had become sentient and that 5 water columns had been cut off at the bottom while continuing to rise up.
Remarkable,
said the Poom. And yes, it was true. The plane becoming sentient was remarkable. Oh, yes, most extraordinary, sir. How can I get back to the dusting? Replied Arthur, who had hung around.
I shall set up an advisory committee to determine the proper amount of rain to maintain at all times. As Miss Hartley suggested, it will be necessary to let the world dry out sometimes.
Figure.
It will be a political matter, sir. Nations will disagree on how much rain to make. You'll have a sticky time of it. What other obvious things can I say? Blair laughed.
Ho 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 ho! This is Teresa's revenge for putting so much responsibility on her. Ungrateful bitch.
With.
It's an F-22 Velociraptor. The Raptor head does the thinking and the talking. I see what you did there, Mike. We waited for another week while the Prime Minister and his people experimented with the chessboard. It was working. we felt free to hit the road again.
Here, boys, take care of this mess I made. I'm gonna go and party and treat people like animals at a zoo.
Hey,
We're going to do cocaine.
you guys handle this. I'm just gonna go get some milk and cigarettes. Evan Parker recommended we visit the southern part of Germany. Why? We visited the Neuschwanstein Castle near the German-Austrian border.
Nazi castle.
This was the Walt Disney Castle that inspired the plastic castles at Disneyland and Disney World. It was on a steep hill, and
Walt Disney was inspired by German castles? Oh my god, you guys. I think that Walt Disney is a Nazi. I'm shook.
I wonder what he thought about Poland.
It was on a steep hill.
Yes, it was on a steep hill and had the high watchtowers made obligatory cartoons. I mean, they were necessary. The insides were elaborately decorated to a ridiculous degree.
Oh, we're gonna have more of uppity bullshit about how these aren't impressive and are just gauche and unnecessary.
Let's find out. The walls were all covered with paintings, painted. The paintings were painted, you don't say, on the walls themselves. The throne room had a large floor covered with designs made of 2.5 million small colored pieces of tile individually cut to shape. And I know because I counted, and fitting together so close, the edges couldn't be found with a fingernail. The Mad King Ludwig II had built this and two other useless castles to recall stories from German folklore.
Lamau.
Officials met with him and told him he was bankrupting Bavaria with these projects. Who cares? His older brother had died in an insane asylum, and Ludwig had said think they would put him away too. 3 days later, Ludwig's dead body was found in a nearby stream.
Norman Bouton, see, I read.
You see, I read Hohoy. I read the folklore, Lahoy, Lahoy. I am human, you guys. I relate to what kids, to what the young fresh creatures like ye.
Greetings, fellow kids.
We headed back north and passed over a vast open space
didn't.
covered with thousands of oil tanks extending beyond the horizon. We learned that Germany kept a 2 year supply of oil on hand in case the supply was cut off by war or international trouble.
This is pointless, I'm drinking.
Yeah. Still drifting slowly, stopping at small towns along the way, we arrived at Nuremberg just in time for Oktoberfest.
Oh, I
Nuremberg
would
trials.
love to see what these two straight-laced goobers do during Oktoberfest.
Nazi stuff.
Based.
You see, the joke is that Nazis came from Germany, so therefore all Germans are the Nazis. Isn't my casual racism so funny, you guys?
Really?
Isn't this so funny and low and random XD? Please laugh, please laugh. These rooms are so painful. I just needs
Honestly,
something to get
Raptor,
food.
and I don't care what anyone in the chat says, I don't think anything we have ever said ever has been funny.
I am human. Raptor lied through his raptor teeth. 2021.
And what's the point of everything if I'm not funny? What's the point of these streams if there isn't a funny?
We know that you're funny, Raptor.
I know, I'm just kidding.
You are the big funny.
This annual festival.
This is pointless. I'm drinking needs to be a T-shirt. This annual festival.
We're adding to our list of future merch when we actually get
There must be
past
billions of all of us.
47 subscribers.
That's because we need a show with me on it. Like this one with you, there'll be one with Manny, there'll be one with me. It'll be exciting.
Yes.
And money making.
San Diego Festival of our cities was carnival set up in large open space. There are rides for kids of all ages and all the other attractions of carnivals. But the real reason people went to these things was for the beer tents. Huge tents were set up with tables and seats for thousands. There was a stage with bands dressed in traditional. If we know what Oktoberfest is.
No, just read that sentence. Yep, you saw it.
To get to this next one, there was a stage with bands dressed in traditional German costumes playing peppy old papa songs.
Papa songs.
Everybody drank beer from 1 liter mugs.
You don't say.
Waitresses with fingers like car crash jaws of life carried 6 of these mugs in each. That's a hell of a comparison.
Okay, like, I think that's impressive too because I have tiny baby hands, but
Yeah.
I don't think I would use that as a metaphor.
It's like on Archer when they say that Lana's hands are like Truckosaurus.
Fuck.
Oh, yeah, Raptor, have you ever seen Truckosaurus?
No.
Look it up.
Is that like
it is brilliant. It's a robotic
like a
T-Rex
dinosaur, but he's a truck.
It's a giant robotic dinosaur that crushes cars.
Beautiful. Brilliant.
It really is.
I need to watch that.
This beer had twice as much alcohol as American beer. I mean, you can't really say that. There are a lot of different beers. It was brewed fresh daily at local breweries, and the taste was wonderful. Steve had 6 mugs, but somehow managed to stay on his feet when he took his innumerable breaks.
Steve and Theresa, the holiest of holy, drinking the no-no juice, infeasible.
Cameron says racial slur, the height of comedy. I'm just ribbing you. I like your humor, Raptor. You guys are funnier than I am. That's not saying much, but it's saying enough. Oh, you're cool,
Gee, thanks, Cameron.
Is Theresa gonna have a rally in Nuremberg?
No.
Theresa wetted out Anne Frank. I'm even not there.
Mike, that's not going to happen because that would be interesting. I find people carrying more than 2 heavy things is impressive. I would never compare them to the jaws of life, though. Seems more insulting than complimentary. Yeah, it really is. That twice the alcohol thing is definitely not true. Yeah.
It depends.
It's almost like Bhutan is speaking out his rotund ass again. I had 2 mugs myself and laughed hysterically when Steve slurred out.
We sophisticated yet. I'm drunk. This is what drunk people sound like. Dear.
And you know those jokes that the only people laughing at them are the ones who told in the immediate person they told it to? There you go. My Theresa Hitler theory grows even stronger. In a bear hall beer, bear works too. Bear always works. The next morning, there was a knock on the hotel door. Steve answered. It was a security man. Excuse me, sir. Prime Minister Blair requests that you return to the Parker residence today. Hagen. It struck us like a lightning bolt. Something was wrong. Again! There be no end of it.
I don't know. Do you plan on just stopping to? Are you plan on to stop fucking up?
And because I've been adding a lot of things, I have to specify that again! Exclamation mark is not an addition. That's actually in the story. Oh wait! Steve's got a snappy one-liner.
Looks like the party is over. Oh dear.
No, he would say, "Looks like the party," and throw up because he's hungover.
Looks like the party is over.
What's on his sunglasses?
Yeah. The security man gently closes the door, and yet he's like, "Oh God, don't slam it!"
Oh no, Country Bear Hall is punched. Are those assassins finally going to make an appearance? Who knows?
I would love for it to happen.
The news gave no hint of anything happening. We had to sweat it out on the rush trip back to the Parker mansion. Prime Minister's limousine was parked in front of the house when we arrived. Arthur conducted us to the living room and quietly walked out of sight. Peter Blair greeted us and asked how was our trip. Right, we answered. Some man stood next to the
Great.
bed. We all sat down. Tim began.
Now that I think about it, I know we brought this up earlier, but why are they still living there?
I don't know. They're the guests who never leave.
Like, there's been no hint that they've become UK citizens. What are they still doing there?
It's like the episode of Futurama where Zoidberg acts like he's one of the family at Amy's parents' house.
Martin's no longer president. She's not in danger in the state. What are you still doing here?
Yeah, Theresa just comes back downstairs. Hey, do you have any more of this expensive bubble bath? There was only enough to fill up half the tub.
By the way, I broke that vase on the mantle when I was doing one of my stupid coin tricks with Hal. Sorry. That contained my grandmother's ashes. Sorry.
Oh, you mean the hot chocolate mix?
I hope you don't mind that I swept it up. You mean you had me, Arthur, sweep it up? Same thing.
So it would be so much funnier if that actually happened. But it won't because Norman's not that talented.
Steve's got a snappy one-liner. Oof! Minecraft oof noise.
Anyway. This is Dr. Harold, an expert in meteorology.
Oh, I doubt it. He nodded his head for Dr. Harold to begin. Okay, actually, since this is a doctor, we have speculated on how Hal stopped the wind. He had to add something to the air, something that would increase the air's viscosity to drain away the effect of pressure differentials. Perhaps these were strings of dark matter particles, too small to detect but large enough to entangle with each other and increase air viscosity. We now have evidence that Hal put something like this in the air. How dare you suggest they leave? Their chipmunks would miss them. 7 billion people on this planet, and the alien had to pick Theresa.
Well, the Hartleys are gone. What do we do now with these chipmunks? Let's fire up the grill.
Steve had already guessed much of this. Oh, fuck off. His face was puzzled. What was the evidence? Dr. Harold continued. Oh, right. The wind is slowly returning. We believe whatever Hal put in the atmosphere is sinking into the earth where it has no effect, or it may be breaking up. We have been cataloging air movements. What? Air movements? It seems the wind will be 10% restored by February. 10% of what?
Do you care about any of this?
Wind fluctuates.
Raptor, do you care about any of this? Guys in the chat, do you care about any of this? I don't care about any of this. Why is it in here?
We think the process has been going on since June.
So the wind return is solved via just some asshole.
Yep. Unceremoniously
Cameron,
announced.
just let the planet die already. Look, guys, we gave it a good go, but she keeps fucking up.
Theresa didn't have to save the world after all.
Theresa's gone. She left the chipmunks here. Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys. Steve suggested. Who is this? I guess, is this the doctor?
Yeah.
Oh, but she did, sir. We could have lost 2 million people next year, along with all animals. The world couldn't survive such trauma. It was the end of all. The end of all.
Direct contradiction.
Is that your
I'm going to drink.
Is that your scientific analysis?
What about the polar bears? You're forgetting the polar bears, Doctor.
So what we're saying is that the pretty much the first fuck up of there being no wind has been undoing itself since it started. So Theresa didn't save anything after all. Oh no, she totally did. Totally, yeah. Woo.
Despite increasing by 10%, wind is responsible for 100% of all tornadoes. Hashtag turning point Theresa.
Then, what are we talking about?
The Earth's declination being reduced to 5 degrees by January, the oceans will overheat, causing constant hurricanes all over the planet. While the return of ordinary wind is slow, the effect of the formation of hurricanes will be much greater for reasons too complicated to get into.
Translation. Bhutan couldn't even think of an explanation.
These hurricanes will be horrific, sir. Prime Minister Blair.
Nice job, Theresa.
10% of zero.
We can't tolerate these hurricanes.
We can't tolerate these hurricanes. They are just such a nuisance.
They will destroy everything within 100 miles of the coast. Even repairs will be impossible because of the constant winds. This will be as bad as nuclear war.
Doubtful. See, hurricanes destroy things, but there's still debris and shit everywhere. Nuclear war leaves nothing. Except piles of ash. And sludgy remains that you were probably best not knowing what they are.
And shadows on walls.
And cockroaches?
No, they die, actually.
I feel like 2 now.
No, it's only Twinkies that survive.
Yes. I mean, you shouldn't be eating Twinkies in the first
place. I do what I want. But no, I've never really cared for Twinkies.
I tried some. They're kind of alright.
You don't get radiation from hurricanes, except in Fukushima.
Moving on.
I thought that was a tsunami, actually.
Okay. Fiddlesticks, that figures. Just when everything was going fine, another problem just had to creep up. Okay, just
because
when everything...
your wife keeps fucking up.
Only Raptor in his washing machine and a single Twinkie will survive.
Fucking make it last, Raptor.
And my gaming consoles, I have moved them to a specially made bomb shelter that in my basement where the washing machine is.
Everything's like being destroyed in nuclear heat. Raptor just like spinning around in the washing machine.
And once so done, I can play for all eternity and eat Twinkies.
What am I?
Cameron says Twinkies are okay, I guess. They taste like sugar, air, and carcinogens.
Basically. What am I supposed to do? Oh wait, no.
Okay.
It specifically says I complain. What am I supposed to do?
Well, yeah, I was about to say, should I even bother reading I complained? I mean, if Theresa's speaking, it's a given that she's complaining.
Change the laws of physics? This is the most impossible problem yet.
Oh, bitch. Blair said.
You have to return the Earth to its original destination.
I don't know why. I just think this sentence is funny. I thought the Asians couldn't get through the winter. Thought, hoped.
It will be hard on them.
So what you're saying is, fuck the Asians? Yes.
Yeah, because, Asians in
No.
winter.
No. Not to toot my own horn. It's funny that I made the joke. Oh, so what you're saying is fuck the Asians. So here's our next question. How hard?
We may lose 500 million people. Good thing I'm wasted and don't care
But
about
it's
them.
okay, because they're in Asia. They're not any of my British people.
Steve protested.
You can't be serious. That is not enough.
Knew that was coming.
I'm sorry, I have to read Mike's comment. Dramatic scene of global nuclear destruction while Raptor hums, you spin me right round, baby, right round.
It's that scene. I don't know if any of you guys have seen When the Wind Blows. It's a story about an old couple living through
I've seen that film. I love that film.
Surviving through a nuclear war, and then just them trying to survive the aftermath. And so then
Again, seen that film.
it's just those scenes of the nuclear bomb dropping, and then you just cut to Raptor. Wee.
And this old couple like huddled together, holding each other in complete fear. Just in the middle of the explosion, you just see Raptor and the washing machine fly by. What am I supposed to do? Use your god powers, Theresa. You have the power to terraform Earth. This should be easy.
Okay.
Yes, Cameron is correct.
Okay, our next commission for Cricket has to be me in the washing machine.
Yeah, I thought we did that.
I don't have the
Did
money
we?
to. Not right now.
Guys, donate to Manny. Make this a reality.
I've seen Threads. That one's depressing as all hell. I have not seen that. And it's British.
I haven't seen Threads.
When the Wind Blows is very depressing.
Oh my god.
It has music by David
When
Bowie.
the Wind Blows is soul destroying.
And it has music by David Bowie.
It's by the same guy who did the who made the snowman, that little animated short that plays on Christmas every year.
Which one?
The one there's no dialogue, it's just a snowman visits a little boy, they go off and
Oh yeah.
Just have their little adventures, and then ultimately he melts in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's by that same guy, that same artist. So it looks like it's from a children's book, but it's just massively depressing.
Oh no, Cameron, I love the mug that you posted. That's brilliant.
I'll post a link to that later, where the wind blows, or when the wind blows. Highly recommend it.
Me too.
Thank you, Raptor.
I've seen it because I am an animation connoisseur.
That's my boy.
As I am a gaming connoisseur.
Yeah.
Anyway,
what does that have to do with gaming?
Gaming is always relevant.
On this channel it is. But anyway, where were we?
We politicians.
Oh, so you know this is going to be an insufferable sentence.
Yep.
We politicians are necessary evils. The matter must be addressed politically, not sentimentally. In politics, there are no men, only ideas, no feelings, only goals. Order must be preserved, or we are all lost.
Well, that was the most
shouldn't
retarded
this
thing I've
be?
ever heard.
So wait, so this mostly seems to be referencing the Asian countries because they would be hit the hardest. That's what the previous part of that conversation seems to be implying.
Okay.
So why is a British prime minister being the one to tell her, yep, gotta do it?
Yeah.
Shouldn't this be like a big council meeting with all Asian leaders and then maybe having a meeting via photo conference being like, okay, we've come to this really hard decision, but...
Well, I don't get super chats yet, but luckily having my phone have PayPal notifications gives me practice. Thank you, Mike, for the $20. I will talk to Cricket.
Thank you. Cameron says, what does this have to do with gaming? Kenzie, there's a game about everything these days, including KFC. Cameron, I think even gamers today would admit that if a game was made about where the wind blows, it would be wildly distasteful.
I am just saying.
There was a fucking
where the wind blows.
Lifetime romance film about Colonel Sanders, for God's sake. I'm a nuclear history weirdo, so I gotta see it. Politics, there is no data, only soul. Brilliant. Okay, Mike wins the stream. My heart raced. I could not kill 500 million people. I looked at Steve miserably and shook my head. I couldn't kill 500 million people unless they were gypsies. There weren't that many. He told Blair.
Racism funny. Let us think about this for a few days.
Blair and the meteorologist, you don't even repeat his name, got up without a word. Conversation was useless. They walked out to the foyer where Arthur opened the door for them. I think this was my bottom.
That's a bit rude.
Race. Despite all my efforts, millions of people were going to die. Yeah!
It's because of all your efforts that people are dying.
Who fucking called it? We did! The misery and pointlessness of it shook me. I wondered why God was letting this happen. You're letting it happen!
He's godlike powers!
Teresa's God now.
Dr. Harold did not have a monopoly on the weather service. What's that? Word of the next imminent disaster leaked out as Blair drove back to London. One of Dr. Harold's colleagues talked. Peter Blair felt terrible about dumping this problem on me after my spectacular success with the rain problem. You just were seeing that was a failure.
I think that's meant to be sarcastic.
I don't know if he has the awareness for that.
No, I think that he is, but like, he just really, it's that lack of self-awareness again where he thinks he's being really clever. Like, oh, she's so relatable, she's being sarcastic, when in this kind of situation, when she's facing the inevitable death of millions of people, it just is cynical and tasteless rather than relatable.
Hello, Silatil Macaron. I'm sorry if I've said that wrong. Oh yay, late, but I've been waiting to catch one of these forever. Well, welcome.
Well, thank you.
No need to kill them.
Welcome.
Okay, Mike says no need to kill them. Just bring them over to perform hard labor and smoke opium.
Jesus Christ.
Oh no, all the sweatshop kids.
Yeah, you think there would be like a massive movement to like maybe get them immigrated out of there temporarily?
Yeah, you think like instead of despairing, you could just get them out, or before any of that happened, maybe use your power to stop like the kids in the Asian countries from working in sweatshops.
Can't be asked. Too busy traveling the world looking at people like they're in a zoo.
Oh my god. I hate this woman so much. Peter Blair felt terrible about dumping this problem off. Oh yeah, we said that. Reporters were waiting for him when he got back to London. After reviewing the problem, he said,
Soliloquy time.
Hey, it's been a while since we've had an unnecessary reference to literary classics that we could be reading instead.
Okay. I am reminded of King Lear. Before such sacrifices, the gods themselves burn incense. She won't sleep well. Uneasy lies the head that wears a crown. Poor Theresa, when her story is written, shameless plug of Bio Theresa's book. It will be said her adversary was not people in this world, but the world itself.
No.
Jane.
Let me rephrase that and correct it. When her story is written by a talentless hack, it will be said that her adversary was not people in the world, but she herself. Because she causes all these problems herself. And that was chapter 15.
Mm-hmm.
What more is there to say? Another chapter? Theresa fucks up more? Asians are gonna die?
Worst
Prime Minister
chapter.
Blair is racist?
Worst chapter yet.
No, we can't say that.
I can, because Jan Struthers didn't come back!
Oh wait, you mean in reintroducing her last week was pointless? That's another drink!
I am so disappointed right now.
Join
Maybe you
the
should
club.
say that.
Now you can be as melancholy as we are.
I don't need this.
Mike says, move them inland. Use your powers to divert water somewhere else. Anything is better than doing nothing. Yep.
Okay, so you just want Theresa to be Patrick. Why don't we just take the water and put it over there?
No, we should take Asia and push it somewhere else.
Yes.
Maybe she comes back in the next one. Mike, I doubt it.
I just looked through the next one. There's no mention of her.
It'll probably be like in another 14 chapters before she comes back.
It appears that Jan has died of an opium overdose.
No!
Jesus Christ, Raptor.
All for Lint. What's going to happen to it?
Will it make you feel better to say the outro in her voice?
No, it'll just make me miss her more.
I tried.
I appreciate it. Well, guys.
We're sorry you caught only the tail end of the chapter. Celatiel, I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. But please, by all means, go back and watch our others. They're all up on the channel.
And please subscribe to our channel. Smash the like button. Turn
Hit
on
the little
notifications.
bell so you get notified next time we stream.
Also, if Theresa can make huge water spouts in the Earth's axis. And why didn't she just move rain clouds? That's a very good question. Oh, because they
Norman
said
Bhutan.
without wind there was no rain.
Even though there was no mention that there wasn't any clouds or anything.
No.
But to answer your question, it's because Norman Bhutan doesn't like thinking.
Indeed.
He just likes regurgitating facts that he learns reading encyclopedias that he finds interesting.
Haven't hit the sweet 2-hour mark yet. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen unless we read another chapter.
Is it a long one?
Oh no, oh no.
That's what she said.
Oh no.
Grow up.
Oh no.
I mean, it's not
It's actually
that
not
long.
terribly. Raptor, what are you having a crisis over right now?
Theoretically, we could.
I guess we can.
Were you writing that we said that we would?
Hang on, Be right back.
No, I'm strong. We can get through this together.
Oh. Oh no, oh no, oh no, Raptor Race 2021. Hashtag Raptor Strong.
All right, ladies, let's do it.
What about us?
That's who I meant. Let's
I know. Your joke
It's been a while since we
joke was
did a
bad.
2-chapter episode.
Ugh. Alright, chapter 16. I spent a sleepless night.
Grandma.
You spent a sleepless night. No, that's it. That's the end. The unfairness of my position kept the tears flowing.
Good. What have I done to deserve this?
My qual.
I thought. It was like when I was 10 years old and Hal first merged with me. I thought of the unfairness of having this thing intrude in my life. Now the thought was oppressive. I'm speaking like this because there are very big spaces between the words.
Spock!
The consequences of Hal was upon me, and I couldn't escape, no matter what I did, whether I returned to the declination to the original or not. Millions of people would die, and their families would blame me for not doing the opposite.
Oh, so that's why you're concerned. Not because that people are going to die, but that you are going to get the blame for it. Because it was your fault.
Why did God choose me for these trials? People interviewed on television said they envied me. They envied me, my glamorous power and importance.
Proofreading is your friend. Proofreading is your friend.
Oh, really? Who would trade places with me now? I was learning something new about remorse. You feel guilty about doing something wrong or not doing something you should have. You're just now learning this. You can also have
Teresa's a
remorse.
sociopath.
That's
I knew
true.
it.
She's the unicorn from the last unicorn. She's never been able to feel regret until she's been transformed into a human form.
Damn, Kenzie out here with the obscure animated film knowledge.
You never heard of the last unicorn?
Right now. Oh, I've heard of it, but I just know it's obscure, and not a lot of people have heard about it.
I don't know if I'd call it obscure. I met someone who had an entire tattoo sleeve with references to that movie.
Still, not everyone is out there with the last unicorn tattoos.
She was cool.
I bet she was.
She was a teacher.
Then I hope she's teaching how she's showing this to those students and making sure that this film does not go obscure. You know what I mean, right?
Yes. Manny? You still there?
Right. Yeah. I shouldn't have let Blair lead me to handling Hal alone. What the fuck else were you gonna do? I should have invited.
Why are you blaming Blair? You're the one who was always like, I gotta do this myself. You could have said, oh, hey, can you bring these people over to help me?
I should have invited a committee to share power. Things might have turned out better, or at least I wouldn't be taking all the blame alone. I guess that is the regret of a lot of old people when they look back and realize too late what might have been.
Photon.
You're telling us something.
Was this a moment of clarity?
This was what President Martin regretted. He thought he was doing something good. It was a disaster. How can anybody know what is the right thing to do? Steve and I lay awake on our backs until the early hours. There was nothing to say. Around 4 in the morning, Steve got up and walked out of the room. It wasn't his usual hour for a pit stop.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Is that what we're calling his affair with the wife of the house?
You fool. You fool. It is the master of the house himself.
Oh, God. At a moment, I got up to see where he'd gone. Turns out he was bumming the house owner. He was sitting at the computer in my workroom.
I heard, Oni-chan, what are you doing? And got very confused. You're the one who kept making those references.
When?
I don't know. You've done it.
I've never said that.
Yes, you have.
No, I haven't.
And I'll go back and look.
If I said it, I was reading a comment.
No, you wouldn't.
He was sitting at the computer in my workroom. Oh God, they're broadcasting it. I watched them for a while from the door without them noticing me.
Come on.
Steve came up with the weirdest ideas in the world. If he had something to fix the problem, I didn't want to disturb him. I went back to bed. If he came up with something, he'd tell me about it in the morning. Here's what Steve was doing. Oh my God, why? He booted the computer to do internet research. So he just walks in, puts on a boot, and kicks it.
Are you just gonna go through the whole process that he was doing there, Bhutan? First, he booted up the computer to do internet research. Then he clicked on the Google Chrome icon to bring up Google. Then he began to type.
Google
First
Chrome?
the T, then the A.
No. Steve
then
doesn't
the
use
E.
Google Chrome. He uses Internet Explorer.
Oh. He had figured out that there was no earthly solution to this problem. Well, why doesn't he come up with a solution with the woman who has unearthly power? We need to look elsewhere. You! What was the elemental composition of the sun? He found the answer quickly. Why are you telling us this?
Because again, it is Bhutan regurgitating facts that he just finds interesting.
The sun was 73.4% hydrogen and 25.0% helium. That left 1.6% of the sun made up of other stuff. 1.6% was a lot. It was equal to 4,000 Earths. He found a list of the most abundant solar elements. The sun was 0.2% carbon. That was surprising. The sun was a dirty place. The article mentioned that there were 67 elements in the sun in sufficient quantities to be measurable by spectrometry. That would include virtually every common element found on Earth. Steve thought about it. Which of these elements would be useful to prevent hurricanes? It would be a gas, one that was heavier than air, that would stay near the ground and make the updrafts of hurricanes possible, or at least much less severe. It was a simple idea.
Really?
But which gas? Parts. As a physics major, he knew a little chemistry.
Hold up, wait. Celestial says, oh yay, we're getting to the sun part, goody. Have you read this before?
I'm afraid.
Do we have another little Rasco on our hands?
Oh dear, what's going to happen? I feel something bad is going to happen.
Raptor, breathe. Raptor. In, out. In, and out.
Then he ordered a large pizza from Domino's and watched The Dark Knight on non-splits. I'm sure
he was probably beaten from ordering from Domino's.
Although pit stop makes me think of shitting, which would be less interesting but more productive and harmless than anything Teresa's done.
Correct.
There's a family of elements called inert gases that would not react with anything and poison the atmosphere. We went through the list. Xenon girl from the 21st century, second from the bottom of the list, was nearly 4 times as dense as air and had no radioactive isotopes. It was perfect. After breakfast, Steve and I went for a walk in the woods. I was still visibly shaken, and he gently introduced me to this idea. He knew I was close to the brink. He knew nobody could endure the pressures I'd been having without some sort of effect on the mind. Even the media was talking about the state of my mental health. Somebody, Blair or Parker, must have said something to him. Now he was trying to introduce me to the wildest idea he'd come up with yet.
I've been thinking. Do you know what xenon gas is?
Yeah, it's used in lights.
It is an inert element, nearly 4 times as heavy as air. If there was a lot of it in the atmosphere, there wouldn't be any hurricanes because the warm air on the ground wouldn't go up that fast.
Where is there a lot of xenon?
On the sun. The sun has all the elements. They can be separated by their melting point.
Teresa's going to destroy the sun, isn't she?
Are we about to get Teresa in space? He didn't push further than that, but he let me think about it as we slowly walked through the woods. 3 minutes later, we got back to the mansion. I gave my opinion. Oh, great. I won't give you
I'll hang up. Say you're sorry.
All right, I'll lie. I'm sorry.
It might be possible. I'll need Mr. Blair to build something that will take a temperature measuring device to the sun so I can watch the temperatures.
Oh my god, no, the next one.
We'll call it the Sky Spy. There's no landmarks in space, and I can't
Bye.
There's no landmarks in space, and I can't triangulate the sun's position to hell. But if they put cameras on Sky Spy, I can see where the sun is and give orders to hell.
Mike's comment sums up everything perfectly. Okay, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Macaron says, why don't we take these elements and move them over? Fun fact, xenon does have radioactive isotopes. Bhutan fucks up again.
I love how we just have resorted to Google to looking up shit in order to just prove him wrong. Also, Teal mentioned, no, but I've watched other people do readings of such. Fair enough.
Space nobody here you triangulate.
Sounds a bit rude.
Sounds a bit like, oh. Did she just suggest the Prime Minister build something? Yes. I just imagine like Toby saying that, how the fuck am I supposed to know how to build this?
Like, cut to like Toby in an office like reading Rocket Building for Dummies.
Insert pull A into. That's not even a word. Okay.
We really want Toby on one of these streams one of these days.
Yes.
We will one day. We will one day film a scene, get Toby to reenact a scene from this book. One day.
I will call Blair.
Prime Minister Blair arrived that afternoon with 36 scientists and engineers. There was also a Royal Air Force general. Steve was the physics major, and he did most of the negotiating with these guys while I stood by. It was fun watching their surprised faces. Yeah, surprised because they're like, Wow, this kid has no idea what he's talking about.
I am so fucking sick of them bringing up that he's a major. He hasn't even graduated. He is not even a student anymore.
After explaining the need for xenon, which they were very confused about because it was radioactive, Steve went into how to get it. One thing I couldn't do was triangulate a position in space. No. I would have to be told where Sky Spy was. I really hate that name.
He thought he was so clever, too. You just know he was.
The scientists rolled up a newspaper and beat
You
Steve
should
on
have
the
called
nose
it
with it
the
like a naughty
Ice
puppy.
Sky. Ha, you get it,
Mike
guys?
says,
Ice
Karen
Sky.
and I will drag his lanky self to Beantown for a very special episode. I can't hear Beantown without thinking of that really stupid animated movie, Killer Bean. Oh my god, you have to stream
Killer
that,
Bean's
Manny.
a classic, guys.
Why haven't I
Yes,
thought of mentioning
Manny,
that to you
have to
till
stream Killer
now?
Bean.
$5.
No, Mike, you
Let's be honest
no,
here. Killer Bean,
Manny,
absolute classic. One of the best films I've ever seen.
Manny.
Get out your Legos and Tinker Toys, Blair. We need space stuff.
Manny. You don't even need to be paid for this one. How can you not immediately just want to watch something called Killer Bean?
$5.
It's on YouTube for free.
Well, I'm not paying
Manny.
you.
What else is new?
It's on YouTube for free.
The Virgin
And,
Big Brother versus
it has-
the Chad Sky Spy. Oh, God. This is such a mess.
The scientists.
Sorry. I really wanted to keep that. They rolled up a paper and beat Steve on the nose with it, but the scientists were very excited. They came up with a scheme of 16 satellites orbiting the sun to serve as a GPS system.
Or scam. They're grifters.
The satellites all melted immediately. They proposed a set of simple levers on the Sky Spy that their satellites would control for automatically relaying the information about Sky Spy's position and what changes were needed. Could I get How to respond automatically to these levers? Yes. Of course you could. They asked another question. Go ahead and voice.
I'm not even going to do a funny voice. When you manipulate the gas masses, could you do it some distance away from Sky Spy instead of directly underneath? I guess. Why? You'll be dumping unwanted material back down to the sun. We want to see what happens. We can learn a lot about the sun. Okay.
They were pleased with that. I saw a couple of them.
Proofreading is your friend.
Shaking each other's hands. It was an astronomer's dream come true. Close-up look at the disturbances in the sun's surface. They do that all the time. It would generate 1,000 scientific papers.
Were these interns from NASA Studios?
So when did this book took place in? 1995? Are they using Windows 95 on their supercomputers?
They must be. I don't want to steal Kenzie's thunder, but Killer Bean did cross my mind for a stream. I mean,
yes, we need to watch Killer Bean, Manny.
Mike, with the requests you've done, you gave me $30. Of the requests you've done, you've used up 10 of those dollars. So you could request that. Royal Air Force General now spoke up. Could you also bring in helium? Steve looked puzzled.
I guess. What good is it?
If helium was plentiful, we could send up thousands of miniature dirigibles.
I can take over for you. I guess he's Steve again. It's a hand puppet on Steve's hand.
What's a dirigible?
A blimp.
Oh. Well, I can't.
Let's say Zeppelin.
Over territory touring the
I already thought Zeppelins were the pretentious way of calling them. What the fuck is this now?
And
also, didn't they try to use helium to float blimps, and that turned out not to work out very well?
I don't know. I don't know. I just know Hindenburg funny.
People died. Ha 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 ha. Funny.
It was an American tragedy.
Tragedies are the funny.
It would be later than air drones, surveying the land for weeks at a time, put terrorist organizations out of business. Yeah, because none of them would see the huge fucking blimps coming.
Oh, we could put terrorist organizations out of business, like their rival coffee shops.
Stephen, each other. What a great idea this was. Fuck off.
The infidels must die.
But we don't want it to happen very quickly.
I'm drinking again. That's, again, praise from her own point of view, but it counts. Remember when in the episode of Bad Creepypasta when they were reading I Hate You? And again, we know now that it was supposed to be tongue-in-cheek and more of a parody, but
I still don't believe that.
I'm going to quote Jacob. Don't big up your own work. What a great idea this was, indeed.
If it was meant as a parody, then it should have been good.
Look, I can see that. I think it works more as a joke than it does as a scary story. I can see it, personally.
Isn't funny to me, though. I don't know what the funny is.
I'm not saying it's... I'm not saying, like, it's hilarious,
I'm just saying
but...
that would imply that Slime Beast is clever.
I'm not saying it's hilarious, but I think that it works better as a joke than it does as a scary story once you, like... if you re-listen to them reading it, or if you go back and reread it yourself, like, I see it.
I mean, Mario's stubble eyebrows are pretty funny in the story.
What? Oh. I'll do it.
A team of 1,200 experts from all over the West was assembled in London. They quickly threw together the GPS satellites from pre-existing components. These satellites were ridiculous-looking assemblies resembling high school science fair projects, but appearance didn't count. No,
then why are you bringing it up?
Okay.
And why is the T and they capitalized even though it's after a comma?
They had small rockets to precisely adjust their solar orbit. I sent them off to the sun. I wasn't interested in mechanical devices and didn't pay much attention to the Sky Spy monstrosity they made. Describing details would get me arrested as a public nuisance.
Even though you just described to them and you described details. Drink.
Basically, it was a 36-foot wide platform with every kind of scientific device that scientists could think of. All I needed was the temperature and a visual of what was happening. I moved Sky Spy to 4 million miles above the sun's north pole and went to work. The principle was simple enough. Hal grabbed a gigantic mass of solar gas and raised it to high altitudes where it cooled off. Excuse me. This made it possible to separate the elements. After Hal grabbed a handful of xenon girl of the 21st century, I had him rush to Earth at really super high speed. As it got close to Earth, I had Hal slow it down to a safer speed and stretch it out into a long, thin stream. The stream reached the North Pole. By now it was frozen solid. I let go of the end of a few hundred feet at a time, giving it a last second squeeze to break the brittle crystal, countless harmless small pieces. Xenon girl of the 21st century showered down all over the top of the world. At night, millions of people stood outside watching what looked like a dense meteor shower raining down in every direction. It was the xenon entering the atmosphere. A month went by. Xenon was now accounting for 2 ounces of atmospheric pressure.
Everyone's dying of
What's that?
radiation poisoning. They're dead. Everyone's dying of radiation poisoning now.
Yes.
It's so sad.
Tropical hurricanes attempted to stir themselves up, but were only storms with 40-mile-per-hour gusts and were infrequent. Power to raise up billions of tons of xenon heavy air per second didn't exist. It was soon pointed out that warm air was breaking through thermal layers and rising slowly in hundreds of places over the entire ocean instead of rapidly in a small area, resulting in a 1,000-mile wide hurricane system. No commas. It was nice that I wouldn't have to kill 500 million Asians. So much for that problem.
Blair's
that's
disappointed
nice.
though.
God damn.
Again, Blair was disappointed though that didn't happen because Blair was racist, and racism is funny.
So here's the question of the day. What's the next impending disaster that's going to come from this newest little powwow of yours, Theresa? What do you guys think?
Well, I know, I got it. She fuses Madagascar with Africa and removes South America from North America. No, wait, better yet. She fuses all the continents together and creates a new Pangea.
And because America's inherently racist, they go and attack everybody.
Yeah, and because of all
Based.
all the animals existing now, a lot of destruction happens, and it's all just one big mess thanks to Theresa.
Wait, is Xenon not that one guy from Power Rangers? No, Cameron, that was Zordon. Get it right. Respect.
Also, it's
Zordon.
spelled with an X, not a Z.
Yeah. Xenon was on the Disney Channel original movie.
Isn't it Xena?
Shut up.
No.
Xena, the space girl, I think. Or was it Xena, the girl from Future?
Xena, Space Princess, or some bullshit.
It was Girl of the 21st Century. Because it was still like 1998, so they're like, oh yeah, in 2000 everything's going to be flying cars and living in space.
And we're going to be dressing even
Why
more
didn't we get
flamboyantly than
that?
in the 90s for some reason.
I'm disappointed now. I'm mad. The future doesn't look like Xenon. I'm sad.
Are you doing like a movie Bob impression or something?
No, I'm just sad.
Oh.
I'm really disappointed that the future doesn't look like that. Like, I want flying cars. We just got the virus.
Do we really want flying cars, though? Most people can't even drive when they're on the road. So just imagine you're going about your day, and then some fuckwad crashes their car up in the sky, and all of a sudden, you're just walking along, and then suddenly you just, like, someone's muffler and hood and engine come crashing down around you.
Okay, yeah, Kenzie. Reasonable, logical explanation. Raptor. Flying cars, flying cars, flying cars!
That is a sacrifice I am willing to take for flying cars.
Just being a talking raptor enough for you?
God, I love you, Raptor.
Yes.
So is your flying car going to look like a washing machine?
Where were we?
Oh, I had forgotten.
So it was nice that I went out to kill 500 million Asians. So much for that problem. I had forgotten about the helium that Air Force general wanted. 3 weeks after the Xenon arrived, So did the helium. Okay, hold on a sec. I need to.
We're doing more research to prove more bullshit.
Something like that. Okay, it was xenon, but with a Z instead of an X.
Xenon Warrior Princess, that's what I was thinking of.
That's Xena.
Warrior Princess.
Yeah, that's what I was
the theme
thinking of,
song.
what I mean. Xena,
Xena.
Warrior Princess. And then Cameron just confirms what I've said. People can't even drive safe on the ground. None of these fuckers should be in the sky.
I want to be in the sky. Like a butterfly. From Green Rainbow.
Oh, really? Not a pterodactyl?
Eh.
Mix the Flintstones with the Jetsons, and what do you get? Raptor Rex.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there was a Flintstones Jetsons crossover movie. It's very funny.
I know it exists, I just don't remember it.
There was also a cartoon All-Stars.
They met each other, and the Flintstones went to the future while the Jetsons
I
went
remember
to the past.
it. I remember watching it. It just didn't really stick with me.
I'm sorry.
Like, I know the general plot points, but like, God help me if I could recall any of the jokes or anything.
Oh, remember that one PSA with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
What was that?
Which one?
That one. You know, the one the kid's like, "What? Hey kid, want to try some drugs? Nah. What are you? A chicken? No, I'm not a chicken. You're a turkey."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that Cartoon All Stars. That's what it was called, or something like that.
Oh no, that was a different one, but yeah, Cartoon All Stars is another great one. Like this kid, he does the drugs. Then the cartoons come and they're like, "Hey,
yeah, was that the one where
you get drugs? Drugs are bad, kid." And he's like, "No, I don't care."
Was that the one where you get to
hear a joint?
Simon the Chipmunk say marijuana?
Yes,
that's the one.
Yeah, it cuts you like.
And then
you
literally have Bugs Bunny pick up some weed and be like, "What is this? A joint?"
Yeah, so what's the attraction?
A joint.
Oh, that was such brilliant cringe. Like, even as a kid, I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
And that fucking song.
Which one?
There's a million
wild and wonderful ways to say no. I hate that I remember it.
There's a million wonderful, wacky ways to say no. Don't try drugs, kids. It's bad. Drugs are bad. They're bad. And if you do drugs, you're bad.
That is something that we need to have a watch party for.
All right, I'm down for that. Before or after Neil Breen?
I'm down too.
After.
Fair.
But
it was a sad day for terrorists.
The question is, what Neil Breen films are we going to watch?
I don't know. Hold on. No, Mike, don't worry about it. You don't have to use your money for that one. It'll just be a watch party on the Discord. Oh, I remember that movie pissed me off too because I was like, oh well, it says the Ninja Turtles are going to be in it. Then Michelangelo was in it for all of 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I was like, well.
And it's Michelangelo being the one to tell you not to do weed. Yeah. Michelangelo.
Hey, dude, don't do drugs, dude. That's bad, dude.
The skater dude is telling you not to do weed.
Although I did like that.
Wasted potential. Like you might expect like some epic crossover where the cartoon is trying to save the world from some giant threat. No, he just telling some one kid to not do drugs. Like, why just one kid? Who cares about this one kid?
Also, I did love though that Alf got like a huge speech in it.
Oh yeah, he was in that.
And because Alf,
don't do drugs.
And Winnie the Pooh is like the little sister spirit advisor.
Yes.
Hey sister, do not do drugs. Drugs, they're bad. Christopher
Sweetie,
Robin
why
did
did you tell your
drugs.
mother that about the drugs you found in your brother's bedroom?
Hold on. Oh, what's this? Crystal meth? Oh, bother.
Oh, bother.
We stand Alf. Yes, yes, we do. Alf. All praise Gordon Shumway. God, I love that show.
Alf was done dirty during the finale.
Yes, he was.
We need a season 5. The cliffhanger must be resolved.
Did you ever hear what the actor who played Willie did when the show was over?
No.
Like they all were going like, "All right, guys, let's celebrate." He already had his bag packed. He just walked off the set, picked up his bag, got in his car, and drove away. He hated doing the show.
Really?
Yeah, he didn't even say goodbye to anyone. But yeah, like apparently it would take like 24 hours just to film one episode. And there were trap doors all over the place for the puppet to come up from.
At least we got Yakko's World out of it. Ooh. Cameron, what are you referencing?
Fun fact, they did stuff like that because the government was pushing for more educational shows and movies.
Oh, from that comment.
Yeah. Networks wouldn't give you prime spots if you didn't give a moral lesson in there.
Yeah, that's why there was there was all those message cartoons in the 90s and 2000s.
Oh yeah, best part
Looking
about,
at you, Captain Planet.
Best part about that that little movie though was the opening from Ronald Reagan.
Hello, I am Ronald Reagan.
Now I have Yakko's World stuck in my head.
Bad.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru.
Oh, you
okay, you think we could have a cartoon All Stars 2, but this time it's against vaping, because vaping is
Yes.
is what people are all against these days.
It's fucking Jake and Finn from Adventure Time.
It's
fucking the reboot from DuckTales. What do kids watch these days? SpongeBob.
The Loud House.
I don't know what that is.
My Little Pony.
SpongeBob, look out! He's about to do crack!
Oh no, Patrick! What are we gonna do?
No, SpongeBob picks up a joint. He's like, "Is this a joint?" And he turns around and sees Patrick about to pick one up and take off. Patrick, no!
I can just imagine like Mr. Krabs, like, there are lots of good ways to make money, but selling drugs is not one of them.
Should we get back to the story?
I was trying to avoid it, but okay.
I know, right?
Okay.
Cartoon All Stars will have Steven Universe in it. Are you sure you want this? Yeah, that would be hilarious. I just imagine the Crystal Gems being so perplexed over what drugs are. And they're like,
the what?
How could something called crystal meth be bad?
This isn't for the crystals, Garnet. Crystal meth is a really bad drug that can cause you to become addicted to it and kill you. It's bad.
The crystal meth will always ruin the day.
The druggie just like runs up with a hammer and like starts smashing them. Oh yeah, this has gotta be good stuff.
So where were we?
I don't know. 3 weeks after the xenon arrived, so did the helium. Who the fuck cares? The military had something to play with. It was a sad day for the terrorists. It was a sad day for the terrorists. The atmosphere was soon a 10th
kind of be like,
helium.
No terrorism.
No, can you go back to explain why it was a sad day for the terrorists? But no, the atmosphere was soon a 10th. I'm gonna drink for a pointless line.
No, Kenzie, because they have the helium. Here come the dirigible, the anti-terrorist dirigibles.
Call them blimps!
I said dirigible because it's so fucking pretentious.
Zeppelin. Zeppelin. funny moments.
The atmosphere was soon 0.1% of helium, which didn't sound like much, but it was a million times what it had been. It could easily be separated by centrifuges. The wind, rain, thermal expansion of water, food, and heat problems were permanently fixed. They weren't. This was the end of my problems with the natural world. I wasn't so naive as to think all my problems were over. I mean, you see your main problem when you look in the mirror. A lot of people in the world were jealous of my power. They were sure to come after me. Many statesmen predicted it. Excuse me. Blair visited with 4 guys from NASA. 4 guys. Okay. They had interesting questions. Are we going to actually hear them? Could I put a large telescope on the moon?
Yup. I can.
What? That's Kenzie.
Oh no, wait,
Hang
that's
on.
Theresa. Sorry.
Yep, I can do that. Throw something together and I'll deliver it.
Could I put a roving robot on Mars?
How about a waving
no.
robot?
The problem is the time delay. I can't give Hal instructions exact enough to keep it from crashing. Put together a package and I'll put it in orbit around Mars. You take over from there.
How big could this Mars package be?
Any sign, 1,000,000 tons. It doesn't matter to Hal.
So Hal says size doesn't
Because Hal is small peen.
matter. Okay, who's talking now?
A scientist. And I want to be that scientist.
Go ahead.
We hesitate to ask, but Europa is a moon of Jupiter. It has an ocean covered with ice, and we think it has a chance of harboring life. But it's very far away, and the ice is very thick. It may
So
take
you think that
100
a
years.
moon that was cold enough to freeze an ocean can sustain life?
I mean, that's what scientists think, apparently. No, I think there's legit scientists who think that Europa could have life on it. I mean, still kind of dumb when you put it that way, but eh. It may take 200 years to get a sample. Could you get a sample?
Wait, real quick. Mike says, Mars? Elon Musk has entered the chat. I wish.
How big is Europa?
It is slightly smaller than the moon.
My Europa, it's about 50 feet. How big's yours?
Okay, I can't even do the voice for this one. I need to use my voice to really just emphasize how stupid this sentence is. All right, you guys ready? You guys ready?
Nope,
Are you
but
sure you
go
guys
for it
ready?
anyway.
I'll put Europa in orbit around Mars. Because that won't have any consequences, will it?
Europa just got its first organism, and Theresa just killed it.
We'll take one planet's moon and push it somewhere else.
Hold up, did Theresa fuck up hard enough that they need to get another ocean? And Kenzie, yeah, Europa could have life deep below the surface, but it'd be deep sea microbes, nothing more complex.
Well, yeah, I mean, the way they make it sound is as if like they're saying, "Oh, you know how we can colonize Mars." It makes it sound like they're trying to say we could colonize Europa, is what I'm saying. And Mike's mad.
I officially cannot. That is how you absolutely destroy a solar system. Yeah, because, Asia wasn't enough. Had to go for an entire solar system.
Fine. They won't let me kill all those Asians, so I guess I'll just fuck the entire solar system.
I'm sorry, I have to do it.
What, you're gonna quote me for saying, oh, they won't let me kill all the Asians?
Yes.
I wasn't saying it, though. I was quoting Theresa.
That's why they're called out of context quotes.
Just read.
I don't wanna.
We're almost done.
The visitors were astonished. Yeah, because they realized we were about to commit genocide again.
Anyone ever seen Melancholia? Think that.
Then they laughed and gushed with exuberant thank yous. Oh, fuck off.
Drink. Drink twice, actually.
You're going to destroy our solar system. No, how funny.
That left them plenty to brag about back home. Meanwhile,
I know the person who's going to be our destroyer. Yes, I am better than you.
Meanwhile,
Okay,
I
I
was
know.
working on a really interesting project. Oh my god.
Okay, I read ahead. This I remember gleaning from the TV tropes page. Get ready.
10 planetary alignments that will blow his mind and destroy his civilization. The solar system has too many Asians in it. I can fix that. Theresa 2021. Fort Knox, Kentucky was the site of the United States Gold Depository. Yeah, I'm afraid. It contained 147 million ounces of gold. It was protected by hundreds of feet of open space surrounding it in all directions. The property had many secret security systems to prevent anybody from stepping on the land. In addition, it was surrounded by an army base of 40,000 soldiers. The rarely used front entrance was on the eastern side of the building, and the most open field and the closest to army facilities was the western field. NORAD's radar detected something coming down to Earth over the North Pole. It was moving at a steady 120 miles per hour, and it seemed to be a narrow line some hundreds of miles long. Less. As the night went by, it lowered to an altitude of 100 miles, and then curved to the horizontal, heading south. There was no alarm. This obviously had something to do with me. I wish I could drink right now. I really do.
Then what's stopping you from going to the liquor store sometime this week?
I don't get paid until next week.
Oh.
President Stinson was awakened and advised of the situation. Military planes with telescopes flew to northern Canada. Oh god, we're in Canada now.
Canada cringe.
It's not a steady line, but rather a stream of small yellow objects. Yellow stream. Excuse the expression. Continued due south at a high altitude. By 2:00 p.m., it was directly over Fort Knox, Kentucky. The stream made a sharp turn and headed straight down. In less than 2 hours, it reached ground. A 2-foot wide, almost perfectly spherical ball of gold in the middle of the large field west of the gold depository. A half second later, another ball of gold hit the ground, and another, and another. By now, people on the ground had been alerted the gold was coming. Thousands lined the fence surrounding the depository. So Fort Knox was getting a golden shower.
Keep going.
Gold balls stacked up in a very shallow pyramid.
Balls. Balls.
In half an hour, there was easily more gold on the field than inside the depository, and it kept coming down. The gold balls made a loud thump as they landed on the growing pile. They weighed about 4 tons apiece. Jesus. 22 hours, the last of the gold balls came down. The mountain of gold was hundreds of feet wide and much higher than the depository. It was worth trillions of dollars at current prices. But you see, now that there's more gold, it would not keep the same value.
And there we go. That's what I was meaning to say. She is single-handedly going to cause an economic collapse.
Fantastic.
And there's a lot more where that came from.
So, while she's working on the one project that's gonna fuck up the entire solar system, let's just fuck up the United States economy as a little side project while we're working on the big one.
Said Steve, who watched the spectacle on television with me. I could bring down any amount. Okay. Is she admitting that she did this?
Yes, that's her side project.
What a cunt. Prime Minister Blair called me and asked what the price would be.
$50 an ounce. Not that that matters to you because you use pounds.
I am relieved. Your president said if I didn't get the price down to $100, the United States will declare war on England. Don't ask why. It just happened.
I just need a moment. I hate that. Now you tell me.
We both laughed.
Ha 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 ha! Economic collapse is funny!
He said plentiful, low-priced gold had 1,000 uses in industry besides being a monetary stabilizer and basic material for jewelry.
Well, now it's worthless.
I pleased
You've made
him.
it as common as iron.
I pleased him again by saying I'd bring millions of tons of silver down to a British army base and sell it for $5 an ounce as long as people were willing to buy the stuff.
Oh, let's just fuck up the British economy while we're at it. Cool.
At this point, iron's going to be the valuable metal. British silversmiths.
That's gonna make Minecraft a whole new experience.
British silversmiths could have fun working the metal. Blair thanked me for providing thousands of jobs. They already have jobs.
That's not how that works.
Mike says, "What? Raptor, tell me you made that up." No, he did not make that up.
Nope, that was a quote.
I pleased him again.
Which part of the quote? The declare war English part or just the absolute part of me saying, don't ask why. It just happened.
Oh. 1 second.
Get excited, Manny. Manny, your night's about to get a whole lot better.
Sorry, hold on. The media jumped on the story. Silver would provide stable pocket money for all the people on Earth. No, common people could have real money to spend. Money
Not how that works.
Was exchangeable across all borders.
You would have decreased the value of silver.
Benefits to nation's economy was unimaginable. I hired.
Told you. Do you feel better now?
Hold on. I hired Jan Struthers.
Do you feel better now?
Yeah. As my financial manager. Okay, I'm thrilled that Jan is coming back, but you hired her as your financial manager? Oh my god.
You know, the lady in charge of a woman who is a government agent who is tasked with spying on you. Yeah, she seems to be gauche. I'm sure she's fine with money.
Well, here's your problem. You're using gold and silver instead of lint. And sent her to Kentucky to set up the gold business. She found a small iron foundry in Lexington and made them an offer to buy the place. They quickly accepted. It was infinitely more interesting to work with gold than iron. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of people who would disagree. Gold from the Fort Knox field was melted down into gold ingots a little over 3 inches square and an inch thick. These little ingots weighed what Jan thought was an amazing 6.85 pounds. They were worth $5,000 apiece. Not anymore. She had them put in Brinks trucks for transport to New York City, where they were sold through banks. Okay, like all the Raid Shadow Legends jokes. It's like, is Bhutan like getting a sponsorship for a Brinks security? Okay, hold on. I once read a book that said all the gold in the world could fit in a block under the Eiffel Tower. Imagine being able to make a dozen Eiffel Towers out of solid gold suddenly. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an official Jan moment.
Oh my god. Keep reading because the last line of this chapter is oh my god.
Okay, just gotta read these comments real quick. Call down some space link for her. She gave them all money. Their money would be worthless. It's called hyperinflation. It's what happened to make the Germans so susceptible to the Nazi Party post World War One, and it's bad. It's a bad time.
Very correct.
Jan Struthers returns. My friend's grandfather was a silversmith and made some really cool rings. Mike, just be careful. He might have made a golden one on his own in secret.
One ring to rule them all.
Okay, corporations were already blabbering about all the things they could do with the metal. Within a month, I was a billionaire.
Go.
You already were a billionaire, Theresa.
Oh my god, no.
Told you!
You have got to be kidding me!
Right?
I wondered what my old BC boyfriend, Jack Custer, was thinking of all this.
One.
First of all, was not your boyfriend.
No. 1. He was never your boyfriend. 2. What do you care?
He's probably glad that he doesn't marry a genocidal dictator like her.
You petty, peaked at high school bitch. You can't move on.
Oh, I'm just imagining her with Steve. Like, yeah, she got on top of me. It was fun at first. Then she just started, like, going really hard and punching me in the face, yelling, "Fuck you, Jack."
Like, that is the most loser sentence I have ever seen in a book. You loser.
I mean, nothing is going to ruin the Jan moment, but that came close.
It does not matter that you thought you saved the world how many times now. You really haven't because you keep ruining shit. It does not matter that in 1 week you were already a millionaire because people just kept sending you money. It does not matter that you have traveled the world. It does not matter that you are now a billionaire, even though that doesn't make sense because you have actually made gold completely worthless now. Because the fact that you think that all this is sticking it to your nut boyfriend makes you a complete loser. By that one line, Jack wins.
Yes. My granddad made jewelry as a hobby. He made my parents' engagement rings. Aw. Awesome.
My grandma would and I would occasionally use sea glass to make jewelry when I was in high school. We would sell them at my uncle's. He had like a little beach souvenir store, but it also like sold t-shirts and beach chairs and stuff. It was like a touristy store.
Yeah.
And we would make jewelry and sell it there.
Nice. Well, he's dead now, so I'm not worried about. No, Mike, you look out your window, you see that giant black tower with the eye made of fire floating above it? No, he's in there regaining his power. Get out of there if you see orcs start moving into the neighborhood in mass. Empress Theresa.
Mm.
God. Fuck. Take that, Jack.
It's over.
Let me just tell you, with all the inaccuracies and the stuff he gets wrong, allow me, I clicked away from the drinking game over on TV Tropes. and am now on the full page. Now, there's these tropes on TV tropes called artistic license, insert whatever topic here, where whenever a work does something inaccurate, that'll be on the TV tropes page and explain why that actually wouldn't work. So let's just go over, and I won't read the descriptions, but I'll just name how many were mentioned. How many inaccuracies Bhutan has gotten wrong? Artistic license, astronomy. Artistic license, biology. Artistic license, economics, which is what we just went over right now. That pretty much just summed up the little tidbit we just went through. Artistic license, history. Artistic license, medicine. Military, nuclear physics, religion, ships, and sports.
That's a lot of artistic license, Kenzie.
Isn't it?
Yep.
this book is just a miracle, isn't it?
Yes. Not in a good way either.
No, but really what I mean by miracle is that it can't be scientifically explained.
Oh, yeah.
Because it doesn't use science.
True.
It's like this was made by someone not of this world.
And even on their own home planet,
like it was made by
they were very, very
Daemon.
stupid. I'm in the your mileage may vary section. So, alternative character interpretation. Some have suggested that Theresa is actually mentally ill and the story is really a product of her delusions. We're adopting that now.
Well, I bet you got Teresa's for that artist.
Theresa is schizophrenic in how is a manifestation. Wait, Theresa has schizophrenia and narcissistic personality disorder, and the how is the manifestation of her ego.
She
and
does mention that she has having schizophrenic relatives, and that they are all just waiting for the next person for the next person to be diagnosed with it.
This is California, man. The Yorks are already here. Okay, so going by like stereotypes of California, it's so many people are vegans over there. The orcs fight off the vegans. Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
Speaking of meat and on the menu, I'm hungry.
Me too. I need some food.
Okay, I want to be clear. This is a joke. I would never think of harming Eli in any way. But why, Kenzie? Did you look over on the bed and did Eli slowly transition into a roast turkey or something?
He left about a half hour ago.
No.
Your joke is flawed.
I still love though. Oh, I bet you got a license for that. Bhutan is how confirmed. God.
Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight, as always.
It almost sounded like you said for enjoying this. It's like, Kenzie.
No.
I mean, they joined us.
I could never say that.
Yeah, everyone, thanks for coming.
Goodbye.
Please like, comment, subscribe.
And hit the bell so that way you guys know when we're streaming next.
Yeah.
We'll see you on the flippy flip.
Catch you on the flippity flip. And, okay, so we'll see you guys Wednesday for dramatic reading and next Thursday for,
more of this bullshit.
Yeah. Oh my god, I couldn't even process it. And Tuesday I am going to be streaming with Kay for her request, but that's going to be a surprise. I mean, the actual thing we're reading. It's a surprise.
On Twitch or here?
On here.
Okay.
And all right, so yeah, we'll see you guys next time, same bean time. Same beam channel.
Same beam channel.